Hello, hello, and welcome. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Assistant Sense, and we are officially inside the Cashflow Cure Encore session. What I wanted to do is walk you through the Cashflow Cure bite-sized experience. This is actually a training that I did that was roughly, I want to say somewhere between 5 to 6 hours, chock full of recommendations on what you can do when it comes to consistent cash flow, conversions, predictable revenue in your business. So this is our opportunity as a community to get back into the space where we talk about your success strategies, right? What could potentially be holding you back when it comes to consistent revenue, how to position yourself for profit, and start making that now money. Now, what I wanted to do was to kind of give you some of the fundamental pieces of what the cash flow cure concept is all about, right? So that you can have some actionable items to work on right now. And then you can actually go back to the extended full cash flow cure training and go through each of these fundamental pieces one by one. Okay? So there are several resources that I've put together to complement the full training, this being one of them, but there is the Cash Flow Cure workbook as well as the cash flow calculators, okay? And we're going to go through quite a few of those today. But the first thing that I'm going to do is actually mosey on over to there's several things, this guide. Now, when it comes to you working on your right now revenue, I have broken this up into three main conversations, okay? Right now releases, which basically is all about your products. What products, what offers are you releasing right now? Right now revenue is taking a good look at your existing profit as well as your profit potential. And then right now routines, this is all about your processes, your RGAs, revenue generating activities that help you bring in that consistent revenue. So at the end of the day, it's about the P's, right? Your products, your profit, and your processes, right? And we have those conversations around your releases, your revenue, and your routines. So, like I said, today is giving you a bite-sized piece into the full cash flow cure experience. If you have the cash flow cure, you're going to see there are a few things in there for you, including, let's go through, number one, the workbook. And in the workbook, there is space for you to work on those three parts, right? The first one being your releases, and we're going to talk about that right now. First thing to think about when it comes to your releases are your assets. What products do you currently have available for people to purchase? And then being able to go through this document and work on brain dumping everything that you have, everything that you want to create, the cost, the projected sales. We can't talk about your consistent revenue without crunching the numbers, right? So this, by the way, is inside of the Cash Flow Cure. You get access to all the trainings, this Encore included, along with your workbook, number one. And let's go over to your worksheet, number two. Okay, so the worksheets are inside of Google so that you have your calculators and you have space to easily put the numbers in and figure out where you need to be, right? Figure out what you need to earn. And again, inside of our Encore session, we're going to go through all of these today, okay? This is the mini version of the bigger kit. It has, I believe, 12 sections in there, but we're going to focus on these in here, 6 of the 12, okay? So All of those are inside the Cashflow Cure. And if you have access to the 1K offer program, Cashflow Cure is inside of that. So it's like those nesting eggs where you have, a little bit more, and you're building. The Cashflow Cure is a part of the 1K offer experience. So if you wanted to get those two, that opportunity is available to you. Okay? So let's go back to the conversation around your offers and some questions that I want you to think about, okay? Let me actually zoom in so it's nice and big. When it comes to your products, 3 questions you have to ask yourself. What do you have available right now? And I don't mean, oh my gosh, Rashonda, it's like 99% done. It's done, it's on a page and available for purchase. What do you have available right now? What can you create right now? And what do your people want right now? Those are 3 questions that you really need to ask yourself. So think about this. I have one-on-one sessions with clients all the time. Think about this as a guided one-on-one session for you. Now, in the full Cashflow Cure training, like I said, that bad boy is beefy. It's like 5 to 6 hours. And you don't necessarily have to sit and watch the whole thing. You could, but you could also break it up, right? We talk about these 3 core areas in great detail. So, for example, with the workbook, you have space to identify what you have. Maybe you have workbooks. Maybe you have planners. Maybe you have courses. Maybe you have audio content, things that you've created that you want to sell to your audience, coaching calls. Maybe you're a lifestyle coach. Whatever it is that you sell, you want to be able to put them here and then identify what type of product it is: digital product, physical product, course, program, coaching, service, and then whether it's an LPP, low price point, PIP, passive income, OPP, other people's products, or HPP, a high price point product. So again, having that space to identify your offers, what they are, how much they cost, that's the first thing that I want you to do. And by the way, definitely go over to the Cashflow Cure page. You should have the link to that. There are 2 resources you can review. The Cashflow Cure is number 1. The 1K offer is number 2, right? And both of those resources can kind of break down what's included in those solutions to support you when it comes to working on your predictable, consistent cash flow goals in your business, okay? So as we talk about your digital assets, take a minute and grab this if you don't already have it. But we can also just continue the process of you brainstorming the things that you need to do, okay? The next thing in this section is looking at what you can create right now. Like, what are some fast offers, FAST, that you can create right now for your community, right? Especially if you feel like this is a pivotal point of the year. There are some things that you want to put out there. Maybe you haven't had the opportunity to do as much as you would like to. What can you do now? Fast, right? So we talked about that when it comes to fast offers. We took a look at several things. Number 1 being your superpowers. Those are the things that you can honestly, effortlessly do quickly, right? Real-time experiences. Literally, as I'm doing this training with you all, you could create, hey, good morning, welcome, welcome. You could create a real-time experience for your audience. So when we talk about what are some things that you could sell to your audience right now, offers that you can come up with relatively quickly, your superpowers, number 1, and you have to sit with self, right, and say, hey, what are those things that I can do with my eyes closed relatively quickly, number 1. Number 2, a real-time experience, whether it be an in-person or a virtual event. What's a real-time experience that you could put together, package, and sell now, then deliver later? Call me sessions, giving people the opportunity to book calls with you, allowing you to generate revenue. My son is wanting to get some things done with his locks, and I paid for a consultation with a young lady who does special kind of lock attachments and things yesterday. I paid for a consultation for this coming week, right? Or bundles, repurposing, turning something that you currently have, an old offer, into something new, creating BBBs, big, beautiful bundles, please. Those are just a few things that you can do when it comes to fast offers, okay? And then also thinking about, and let's go back to the core questions here. When it comes to your products, what do you have that's available right now? What can you create fast? And what are the right now offers for your audience? What do your people want right now? When we talked about this in the full version of the Cashflow Cure last week, I shared 4 S's. Of all the things that people purchase, especially when they buy immediately through urgency, they're looking for one of the following S's. Right now solutions, right now services, right now systems, and right now sessions. So I twist my son's locks most of the time, but his locks are growing like mine, not as long as mine, but growing. And he wants to be able to take the locks that are growing in the front, cut them, and then attach them to the back. So if you can visualize, a lot of guys will have locks on the top of their hair, but they'll shave the back. And that's what he's done for a long time. He decided to grow out the back, but he doesn't want it to kind of just look random. He wants to make smaller locks in the back from his longer ones in the front. They call those attachments. Mama don't know how to do that. I can twist, but I can't do that, right? So number one, not only am I looking for a solution for his problem, I'm looking for a service. Somebody who can do what I can't do, I'm going to pay them that revenue, right? And so we went to someone yesterday for a consultation. She couldn't do it, so she referred us to somebody else. Then we've got another consultation coming up, right? So when you think about your business, can you drop down, those of you who are here, by the way, can you think about and or drop into the chat a solution, a service, a system, a session of some sort that you know your audience desperately needs right now, and you can provide that to them? Because for me, the most compelling offers are the things that can be identified as both a want and a need. When you can hit people's core desire and they're like, oh my gosh, I want that right now, I need that right now, put it in a cart. Put it in a cart, right? You got it. You got it. You got what you need to consistently succeed as far as your cash flow goes, okay? So let's pause for a second, because so far we're talking just about your releases. We're talking about your products, what you have available, what you can create fast, and what your people want right now. And I always love to have a space for you to get clear and put your ideas in an organized fashion. So what you're going to see is, if you get the Cashflow Cure workbook, if you don't already have it, it's going to give you space for you to be able to brain dump your assets, the products that you have, brain dump your fast solutions, the things that you can work on relatively quickly, and then also brain dump those S sessions, solutions, systems, services that your audience wants right now. There's place for that in that workbook, okay? So if you don't have it, you can definitely grab it. Either way of just getting the Cashflow Cure. But to be honest with you, if you want the Cashflow Cure for free, the right now opportunity is to sign up for the 1K offer challenge. And when you get the challenge, you're going to get the cure as a BOGO. So you'll get pretty much a 2-for-1, right? It's not going to be there forever, but that is what's currently available right now, okay? So write this down, 1KO. If you go over to sistersense.com/1KO, you'll learn more about the 1K offer and what it includes, plus how you can get access to the Cashflow Cure too. Okay, both are available to you. as we are doing this encore session, right, I kind of wanted to give you an overview of some fundamental pieces we worked on in the longer cash flow cure training. Just pause right here. Think about your products. Okay? That's number one. Number two, your profit. Your profit. That also is a three-part conversation, right? Or rather, no, forgive me, a two-part conversation. So when it comes to your profit goals, right, this quarter, next quarter, this year, next year, there are three things. I keep wanting to say three. What's up with me? There are a few things for us to consider. Number one, your revenue goals and price plans, and then reviewing your profit potential. So first, let's talk about your revenue goals. That's where we go into the calculator that I've created for you, okay? So if you have access to the Cashflow Cure, in there you should see a link to download your calculators. If you don't have the Cure, you want to get it, okay? This Excel sheet, it is bananas. I've got 12 sections in there. You have the mini version that gives you 6 of the 12 sections, okay? Starting with the calculators, you want to be able to see what are you looking for when it comes to revenue. You want to be able to break down those things, right? Now, I want to come in here and mess around, but I don't want to mess this up. So let me just quickly create a duplicate of this and then work in the duplicate. All right. So I made a copy so I don't mess up the original that you guys have access to. Let's talk about your revenue. When it comes to the amount of money you want to make, I have 3 core buckets: your reach, your middle, and your base, okay? So with this calculator, you can be able to identify what you're looking for on an annual basis versus monthly. So let's say, for example, you said, you know what, my goal is I'm looking for, it already says $100,000. Let's do $250,000, okay? So you say, I'm looking to make $250,000 for the year. What would that look like in my business? Well, automatically it's going to show you how much you have to bring in every quarter, every month, every week, every day, okay? It's automatically set up. Your reach goal is the thing that you want the most, okay? Your base goal is what you want at the very least. Let's say you're like, listen, at the very least, can I bring in $60,000 over a 1-year period? And maybe you want something in between, right? Maybe you're like, I would love $125,000, right? So then you can assess realistically what it would look like on a daily basis, how much money you would need to see coming in on average every day, every week, every month for you to realistically hit your goal and be able to assess if you're on track with that goal. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about feelings. It's not just about magically hitting some, let me find this magic web business, right? It's about being intentional if you want to consistently, strategically reach your goals. So when it comes to revenue, we also have the monthly too. Underneath monthly, you're going to see my PPPs, right? Product price points. So maybe you want to sell $5,000 worth of high price point offers, $3,000 worth of low price point, PIP, passive income, things that you sell, OPP, other people's products, affiliate products, and then POD, print on demand products. I think I see my girl Elizabeth in the building. Good morning, good morning. I think it was last week, if not the week before last, we went online and uploaded her product on a print-on-demand platform that I absolutely love. One of her coloring books, because we had a coloring book training a few weeks ago, right? So being able to assess if you're going to be selling on different print-on-demand marketplaces like Amazon KDP, and the list goes on, how much revenue do you want from that? If you're going to promote 1 or 2 or 3 people's products as an affiliate, how much revenue? I just signed up to a new program. I'm excited to share that with you guys very soon. And not only am I going to be using this program for myself personally and professionally in my business, I also have signed up to it from the business perspective as an associate, right? So that's going to be added onto my OPP, other people's products that I share within the umbrella of my business, right? And the person that I was talking to said to me, with this one particular associate business, you have the ability to just from this generate 6 figures, right? So imagine you're just trying to figure out how to generate 6 figures in your current business, having the opportunities to have other businesses attached to the main one to help you reach your annual and monthly goals, right? What would that look like for you? So I hope you have this, by the way. I hope you have the calculators. This is a fast action bonus. I put the calculators inside of the Cashflow Cure for now, but it's not going to be in there forever, okay? Because it wasn't in there yesterday. It's in there now for a limited time, number one. And number two, in addition to the calculators, what you have also got access to is the workbook, right? So using the workbook, you can outline what you have, and then you can outline what you want. And when it comes to a goal, you could say, excuse me, print out this page, identify it as a base, middle, or reach goal, and then work on the calculations. The first one would be you just putting your overarching number. And feel free to share, those of you who are here, what your overarching annual goal is, right? And then once you have that number, let's say it is $100,000, then if you broke that $100,000 and divide it by 4, that's going to give you your quarterly. If you take the $100,000 divided by 12, that's going to give you your monthly. When you have your monthly, divide that by 4, you'll get your weekly. And when you have your weekly, divide that by 7, and you'll get your daily, right? Not complicated math at the end of the day, okay? But if you failed that, the easier way for you, one of my clients, Donia, was like, oh my gosh, Ashonda, I'm patiently waiting for the replay and the calculator. I want that. It's going to help me so much, right? Being able to have the calculator. I see 125 on the screen. So let's come here, right? At the level of 125,000, you've got to be working on making an average of 372 per day, 10,000 per month, right? So when you look at that goal, then you want to sit down and start to think about what are you selling on a month-by-month basis to help you reach that goal. I'm a solopreneur. I work with you all who also are solopreneurs. But one of the things that I've learned in my business is to diversify my business, right? And having so let me tell y'all a little joke, right? I always talk about, because I was born here in the United States, but my family's from Jamaica, right? Transplant. And I always talk about one of my favorite shows back in the day, Gen Xer and Living Color. And they used to have this Jamaican family, and they had 15 jobs. I don't know if y'all remember them, right? They worked on the airlines. They made food. They did like 15 different things. And a lot of y'all do the same thing. I believe in diversification, but I don't believe that I need to build your website, do your taxes, and clean your garage to make revenue. I'm all about taking that one core superpower skill that you have and diversifying it in a way that works for you. So I can take my core skill, create low price point, create high price point, create passive, create affiliate opportunities, and just keep it all under the same umbrella skill set versus trying to feel like I need to stretch myself and do like 12 different jobs, 12 random side hustles. So I want you to think about that as well, especially those of you who are overextending yourself, trying to tap into any possible cash flow stream you can think of, as opposed to kind of digging into your best skill set and maximizing it in a variety of ways, okay? Food for thought. Definitely food for thought for you, okay? So do you see here, by the way, that 125, what that would look like, number one? Both the revenue goal for the overarching year and then also the middle, okay? So definitely make sure that you go, I think you have, Elizabeth, I know you have the calculator. If you go to the replays page, because last week I sent you guys an email with the workbook and the replays. If you go to that page, you can download this calculator, okay? If you can't find it now, no worries. You can come back and let me know. So some of you do have access to the Cashflow Cure already, but if you don't have access to it, like I said, you can either get it by itself at sistasense.com/Cashflow Cure, or you could get it for free for a limited time as a bonus with the 1K offer, which is at sistasense.com/1KO. Okay? So, depending on time, I may pause to give you guys an opportunity to grow and get this. But we're doing 3 sessions today, and I want to kind of keep each of these sessions on time. Hey, Samantha, welcome, welcome. So,
Morning.
Good morning, good morning. Let's take a look here, okay? When we're talking about the cash flow cure, just to kind of reset the room if you're just coming on in here, there are 3 core areas we are focused on. We're looking at your products, your profit, and your processes. And the first conversation was just talking about when it comes to products, what do you have available to sell? What can you create? What do your people want, right? We just talked about that, number 1. Number 2, we are now on your profit potential, talking about your goals and your pricing plans, okay? So let's go back into the calculator when it comes to pricing, because for me, pricing is key. A lot of times people will say, man, I don't have a lot of traffic, LaShonda. How can I get better at making more money? Who feels like that? Maybe you're selling stuff, but you don't see as much traffic as you would like to. Who feels like that? If that's you, let's take a look at products and pricing, okay? This is a calculator that you can get access to with the Cashflow Cure replays, side note. So let's take a look at your pricing. I want you to identify at least one thing that you're trying to sell right now and how much it is. Identify at least one thing you're trying to sell. How much is that thing? Okay? And then we're going to go into how you could take something as small as $7 and generate $1,000 plus from that one offer. Okay? So we're going to talk about that in a second, but first I want to give you guys the opportunity to do 2 things. Number 1, just kind of power pause and think about this question. Number 2, if you want to get the Cashflow Cure for free, okay, it is the easiest thing for you to do. I'm trying to think about the link. sistasense.com/1KO. 1KO. If you come here, you're going to get access to so much because I'm going to be doing a challenge that's going to happen pretty much next week. I'm going to do a challenge where I show you how to make a 1K offer. If you sign up for the challenge that's happening next week, you're also going to get as a bonus the Cashflow Cure that we did last week as a bonus. Today is an encore to give you a sense of what is possible for you, okay? So let me pause for a second. Tell me one offer that you have and how much that offer is, okay? Either it's something that you have available for sale or it's something that you would like to sell in the near future. All right. So here we are. And on this particular page, we are looking at if you had a product that you wanted to launch, what would be the reach goals as far as how many sales you want to make, or your base goals, how many sales at the very least. The reach is the most, the max. The base is the at the very least, right? Now, let's say you have something that you're selling. I saw somebody say course. So I'm going to put in here, it says offer name. I am going to call this my Cashflow course. Cashflow course. Okay? You could also identify if it's a digital product, physical product, services, membership. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. If it's a premium, high-ticket offer, if it is a continuity subscription offer, if it is a bundle, an affiliate offer, an annual offer, there are some things that you can identify here, which is why this particular Google Sheet, to me, is one of the best that I've ever created, and it's really going to help you get organized and clear when it comes to the things that you want to put out there, right? Now, let's say the course is, I'm going to say the course is $9.97, okay? So I'm going to put, no, you know what? I'm going to put $5.97. Nope, I'm going to put $4.97. I'm going to put $4.97. What you see here is says good, better, and best, right? So let's say you're selling the course. Your course is $500, okay? Now, with the course, you teach a particular concept. I'm talking about, hey, how to work on your cash flow. Let's say you have a book. Could be an info book or, edit. The good is a book. So I'm going to put good is book. The better is book plus workbook. And then the best is getting the book plus the workbook plus the course, right? So I'm going to say that the book alone is $27. And if you pay an extra, let's say $50, pay an extra $50 and you'll get the book and the workbook. So as opposed to just paying $27, let's say you pay $50 plus $27, that's $97, right? Is it? I'm trying to do easy math, y'all, and I suck at it. Okay, I'm going to do 70. Okay. Why am I going to do 70? Because if you were to just buy the book by itself, it would be 27. But if you bought the book and the workbook, then that would be 97, right? Now, let's say you want the course. I want the course to be sold for $497. Just add an extra $400. Because if you add all of these things together, that's going to be $497, right? Let's say I said, okay, I'm doing this course, but I also have this really great replay set of another course that I did. Do you want it? Add it to the cart, $200. I'm upselling you on getting a extra course, right? And that's an extra $200. And then I'm going to upsell you on getting a worksheet. And let's say my worksheet is an extra $100. Okay? Now, let's just do simple math here. I'm just going to do all once, right? The offer itself, the main offer is $497. But if they put everything in the cart, I can make up to $797 if they buy the course, plus they buy the extra course, plus they buy the worksheets. Okay? Now, what if I wanted to make $997 on this page, right? And I said, okay, well, what if I made the extra course added to the cart, $300, and then the worksheets, $200? Now I've made $1,000. The person can either come and get a book for $27, or if they get everything, the main offer plus the upsells, now I'm looking at $997 from this one product. One of the things that you can do when it comes to your revenue, your profit potential, is working on what we call one-page sales funnels, where you're giving people a variety of options on that one particular page that they can utilize to purchase multiple things that they want or need, okay? I'm going to give you two visual examples of this, but it's not just about I need more traffic. I need more traffic. How are you making the most of the current traffic that you already have? Okay, that's important. So if I were to take you over to, let's say, for example, sistersense.com/coloring books, okay? So I did the training. It was on coloring books, right? And how you can create them using my templates and resources, right? That particular training is available for $37. Now, you come here and you're like, okay, I see you got some other stuff. Yeah. Do you want to learn how to make mini courses? Put it in the cart. Now it went from 37 to 77. Do you want to get all of my trainings on how to create mini digital products? Yes, put it in the cart. Now it went to 267. You do know I have a monthly program, right? Are you in the program? Do you want to work with me as far as creating more digital products, your marketing, your sales? Baby, put it in the cart. Now it went to $314. This is one page, and what I'm talking about is order bumps and upsells. Technical terms, really what it means is creating complementary products that you put on your sales page so it can go from a small offer that's good to a bigger offer that's the best possible solution for them. And you don't have to stress yourself out going, oh my gosh, did I put an offer that's out there that's too expensive or that's too cheap? When you give them options, they can add what they want to the cart to create a product size that's best for them. So, for example, when I talk about the 1K offer, right, I said I have a challenge coming up, and we're going to, for one day, work on mapping out. Let's look at this right here, right? One day, we're going to map out your 1K offer. And I'm going to show you the things that I've done in the past 20-plus years to create 1K offers that sell well for me, right? That's one day. The accelerator is 12 weeks. So we map it out in one day. We work on creating it over the course of 12 weeks. And if you want to really get better over the course of 12 months, you can work with me as part of my Position to Profit program. So there's the challenge, the accelerator, the program. The good, the better, the best. All right? Number one. Number two, scroll down. All the good goods that you get access to. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Here we got your options. The challenge, the accelerator, the program. So on one specific page, I have good, better, best options that are anywhere between $97 to $997 for people who are either new to me, or they know me, or they've referred to me. Because you may go, some people, oh, they don't know me like that. Okay, then those people are going to take the good. Or to be honest with you, if you create a really great sales page that's clear, you've got your credibility out there, it could be people who've been following you for a few months or a few weeks, and they're like, man, this person is legit. They've got this really great opportunity. I'm going to take advantage. So you never just simply say, well, I'm marketing this thing, and I don't want to put out that high ticket offer because nobody's going to buy it. If you're also putting it out not just to new people, but to your previous people or people who have been recommended to you. I have clients who, they don't know me from Adam. And then all of a sudden they're spending $5,000, $6,000 with me because someone told them to come to me. And that know, like, and trust factor is no joke. When people say, listen, this person can help you do what you need to do, just pay them. Just pay them. Don't ask me no questions. Just pay them. Number one. Number two, scroll down. I said, listen, for a limited time, I'm giving you access to 10 60-minute calls at a ridiculous price point. I'm rolling it back. If you, in addition to these trainings, want to work with me privately. Let's say someone says, yes, I want everything, plus I want to talk to you right now, get $2,000 savings for 10 60-minute calls. It went from a $97 offer to $19.94, like that. One way to work on your revenue goals is really to get clear about your profit potential and how you're putting your offers together and how you're putting your pages together so that you can diversify your offers and increase your AOV. What's that? What's your AOV? Your average order value. Now, this is just a recap, if you can imagine, of the things that we talked about inside of the full cash flow cure. As part of that experience, we talked about your goals and your pricing plans. We also talked about the low lows, right? Your profit potential is, where can you generate money right now? Where are you leaving money on the table? And I took quite some time to talk about several things when it comes to your low lows, your make money, your fast cash. Those are some things that we explored. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, because I want to make sure that I stay on point. We've got maybe about 12 more minutes left before I do the next training. I'm going to pull out a piece of the revenue conversation that we talked about and share with you. And then go on to routines. Okay. Because I don't want to go through all of it. That's why the other one was like close to 6 hours long. But I will go through some of it with you. Okay? So let's take a look at your low-hanging fruit. Look at your list. Okay? So when it comes to your low-hanging fruit, those of you who are established, there are certain things that you need to consider when it comes to hitting your revenue goals. Okay? Let's go to the workbook. Scroll. Continuity, bundles. Okay. So, some of these sheets I think I'm going to go through today. Which of these did I want to pause on? Let me catch my bearings real quick, because I want to talk about one part of the low lows, and then we'll go into the final part, which is routines, and then we'll move into the next training for today. Okay. So let's talk about the low lows, and then we'll jump into the last part, which is routines. So one thing to consider when it comes to low-hanging fruit, if you imagine a fruit, if you're kind of short like me, it's easier to get to the fruit that's closest to your height than the ones that are at the top of the tree, right? Just logic. So same thing when it comes to business. If you have customers, the easiest sales that you can make right now, if you're looking to work on your cash flow and consistent revenue, are those customers who are buying from you, your active clients and your top clients, number one. Number two, one of the things that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle to do is work on repeat customers, getting customers to come back or reactivating old customers so they either restart or extend their experience. So here's a great example of that. One of the lovely ladies in my circle, Lucina, she has been a part of my annual program this year, number one. Number two, my annual program, okay, has several levels. And the highest levels is the VIP level at 10,000 and then the momentum level at 5,000, okay? Lucina was referred to me by another client last year, okay? When she signed up, she didn't actually sign up. My client, Lavon, gifted Lucina one of my programs that I was doing. It was a $100 program. Lucina got into the program. $100 program, then was like, oh, wow, this is great. I want to come out to your event. So she and Levon came out to my event in January. She said, okay, this is absolutely great. I need this. What do I need to do? I said, okay, well, I do have the annual program. Here are several things I can do to support you. She signed up to the annual program at $5,000. Why am I telling you this? She didn't know me. And some of you think that you need to work on cultivating relationships with people for 12 years or 12 months before they sign up to you. It does take some time to work with someone who is new, but if you have repeat business or referrals from people who work with you, that know, like, and trust factor goes a long way, okay? And when I think about Lucina, not only have we done some really great things this year, she said, listen, I'm not leaving you, okay? I'm not leaving you. I'm here for a life. So what do I need to do? And so she extended, and she'll be working with me in the annual program again going into New Year. We're just going to continue from what we've done thus far here, right? And so I talk about that because when it comes to the low lows, one thing I talk about is the low-hanging fruit. How much are you identifying, working with, reaching out to your top clients, your active clients? How much are you working on repeat business, reactivating customers, extending plans? These are the things that you need to do when it comes to consistent revenue. Now, there's definitely a lot more than I can say here, okay? But I do not want to go too far down the rabbit hole. So let's talk about your routines, wrap up today's Encore, and if you do want more, that's why the full cash flow program, which literally was about somewhere between 5 to 6 hours, digging into the full version will be great, but this is a good space for you to see what you need to do when it comes to consistent revenue. We thus far talked about your products. We talked about your profit potential. Let's talk about your processes. MMAs and RGAs, money-making activities, RGAs, revenue-generating activities, okay? What are some things that you can do when it comes to proactively going after your revenue, okay? So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a sheet that is in this particular worksheet that I absolutely love. There are actually two of them, and we're going to talk about these two sheets. Think about these activities as we move into the next training that I want to share with you, okay? So the first one is conversations. There's space for this in the worksheet, but then there's also space for this in the workbook as well. Let's scroll, because some of these I'm not going to get to today, okay? So I have something called the 100 Challenge. You're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, Shoshana, how can I find people? How can I find people on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, all the things, okay? Prior to any of these social media platforms, the marketing strategy that stood the test of time is just talking to people, right? Word of mouth marketing matters most. Proactively reaching out to people, having a real conversation. Ooh, I know, right? Nobody wants to talk to nobody. Having conversations about your offer, if they're interested, that is one of the easiest ways. If you say, girl, I don't got no money for Facebook ads, I don't have Instagram, I don't got time or funds for all that stuff, then just reach out to real people. So what you're going to see in the worksheet and also in the workbook is space to challenge yourself to say, I'm going to reach out to at least 5 people, 10 people. The goal here is 100. There actually is space for you to reach out to 100 people. You don't have to do all in one day. And then also the communication way, the channel. Are you going to text message them, phone call, video, Facebook, WhatsApp, email? How are you going to do it? And then check it off. Okay, I spoke to Renee. I spoke to Samantha. I spoke to Elizabeth. I spoke to Lucina. I spoke to Levon. Check it off, check it off, check it off. That's something proactive that you can do when it comes to RGAs, revenue-generating activities. Either you're telling yourself, oh, I'm not spending enough time on social media, and you still ain't doing it, right? Or, oh, I can't seem to figure out how to find people. I tried an ad, it didn't work. Okay, fine. What are you doing to proactively reach people? We spent quite a bit of time on RGAs and MMAs in the training, and I do have the cash flow clarity kit. So there is the cash flow cure, which was that one-day training, but then there's the kit, and there are a lot of extra resources in it. One thing is my MMAs. I have 33 money-making activities. I always say you can find a way or find an excuse, but you cannot do both. And one of those things is proactively, whether it be 10 people a day, 30 people a week, reaching out to people, discussing your content, and working on your conversions. Now, some of those people can be new people, but to be honest with you, when it comes to low-hanging fruit revenue, I said you need to know your top customers and your active customers. How proactive are you at reaching out to those people, right? That's a project. That's a project. So you're going to see this one page here, number 1, and then you're going to see this other section here, number 2, the commit challenge. How dedicated are you at not just the visuals of your business and coming up with the concept, the logos, the colors, but the ins and outs of committing to activities, micro tasks. That's another one of this really great series on micro projects that entrepreneurs can do when it comes to consistent progress and profit, right? Little things that you should be doing on a week-by-week basis to move the needle, identifying them, putting in a date, and then checking it off your list. I did it, right? And then you're going to see the tasks that you've done that have been completed. These are just a few of the pages in the cash flow worksheets. Again, there are 12 sections, but when you get the mini, you get 6 of the 12. Okay? So I want you to be able to be aware of these resources that are literally ready and waiting for you. Okay? Now, let's go back to some wrap up. Now, I love lazy girl marketing. Lazy girl marketing, I talk about the fact that one of the things that you need to be aware of is that your list is your biggest asset. You don't need to have a huge list, but you should have to have a quality list so that you can reach out to people. So whether you're reaching out to individuals or your larger list consistently, that's one way to proactively promote, right? And every single week, I'm checking in with my list to say, hey, this is what I got going on. This is what's coming up next. I call it the 3 N's. This is what's now, what's new, and what's next. And if I could tell you to do anything when it comes to these RGAs, identify what's now in your business, what's happening now, what's new in your business, what is new, and what's coming up next. When was the last time you reached out to your community? And is that something that you proactively do on a week-by-week basis so that you are supporting your community the way you need to? Now, I have 3 amazing sessions to share with you today. The Cashflow Cure Encore, just getting started. My goal was to just give you a taste of what we did in the Cashflow Cure and talk to you about the consistency, the conversions, the cash flow, predictable revenue, right? One of the challenges that a lot of people have is they're not crunching the numbers. They're not tapping into that low-hanging fruit. They're not working on RGAs, MMAs, revenue-generating activities that keep the funds coming in. They're always trying to figure out what to do, not doing enough of the right things, and so they're spinning their wheels. I don't want that to be you. So what I've done is created a space where we could look at your challenges and work on identifying things you can do that supersede these things. Inside of the Cashflow Cure, I talked about the scarecrow of it all. A lot of people feel like I could do this if I had a big budget, if I had ad money, if I had a huge following. But guess what? As part of the Cashflow Cure, I show you that you can do this without. You can do this. I do this. I do this without A, any ads, B, a big budget, C, crazy content on social media every day. D, daily deliverables, having to find a way to deliver stuff every single day to my audience. I do this without E, expensive tools. Google Sheets, free. Canva, literally, you can Canva if you can do free Canva or practically free Canva. A lot of the tools that I use are free or practically free. E, with doing this without expensive tools. F, following them, following those folks. You know exactly who they are, the shining stars, right? The shiny objects that you're trying to do everything like they do, but you cannot afford to. Without G, going viral. You don't need to go viral. Literally, I always say as a spiritual entrepreneur, where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. H, without a huge following. These are things that you can proactively do to work on your cash flow and make your offers and your activities work for you. I even showed you, literally, you could put together a page with offers anywhere between $7 to $9.97 and have that page work for you. Generating sales from those who are coming to you because they're new, but also repeat customers and referred customers too. Don't leave any money on the table. I need you, as you're here, I need somebody to write into the chat for me, I can do this. I can do this. Because for a lot of people, they're sitting on their hands and they're twiddling their thumbs because they're frustrated. They got the scarecrow, you know, the Wizard of Oz. Oh, if I only had a brain, right? If I only, you could do this without all the other stuff that them folks is telling you you need to succeed. Now, I've given you a bite-sized piece of what you can do today. I want you to be able to see, yes, thank you for dropping that into the chat, I can do this. I want you to be able to see that there are strategies that I have been utilizing for the last 20-plus years that you can realistically do too. I mentioned to you the Cashflow Cure is literally ready and waiting. We had an amazing time. I hosted this last week. This particular training was somewhere between 5 to 6 hours. You can sit and binge the whole thing, right, like your favorite next Netflix series, or you can break it up, whichever works for you. But the workbook, the worksheets, the Google Sheets, the training, all of that is in there for you, plus other resources that I've created to support you. And for a limited time, if you do want to get the Cashflow Cure for free, make sure that you register for the 1K offer because that training is coming up. It hasn't happened yet, but if you sign up for the 1K offer challenge as part of that opportunity, you're also going to get access to the Cashflow Cure and so much more. I call that the BOGO bundle. It's your bonus BOGO bundle. Get one, you buy one, you get one, right? So we're wrapping up this training. Definitely check in if you have questions. You can work on the Cashflow Cure. You see that website here. Or if you go to citizens.com/1KO, that's where that you'll learn more about the 1K offer experience too, okay? Those of you who are here, whether you're catching me live or on the replays side, feel free to ask questions. You can always email me, LaShonda@citizens.com, or on the citizens.com website. You can click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message, all right? So guess what? This is one of 3 encores that I am doing today. Yay! I really hope you enjoyed this one. Reach out to me, leave a comment, ask a question, number 1. Let's go on to Encore session number 2, getting Black Friday ready, some things that you can do. That one's coming up now.